On January 2nd of 2023, the fourth and final version of the long-running vs. Impostor mod had been released, much to the delight of fans. It was well understood that other than a couple bug fixes here and there, that this was it for the mod. But on the 18th of March, Mediterra uploaded a pretty insightful interview with the mod's director, Cloudfo, who ended the video by sharing with us some news regarding an upcoming update. Cloudfo announced vs. Impostor version 5, a much smaller update than version 4, but an update nonetheless. Less than a week after this announcement, Cloudfo posted a teaser trailer on their channel and solidified the release date as March 30th. A few days before the announced release date, a trailer premiere was set, but when the time came, it was delayed by a day due to complications. Then there was another day, but don't worry guys, not by much. Midnight, April 1st. Damn, he really got us. The trailer premiered with a short 30-second teaser, directing users to the vs. Impostor website, which was set up to redirect people to various download sources. After fans began to quickly download and play the new release, it became apparent that this update is not what it seems. Fans found themselves face to face with a demake/reimagining of vs. Impostor, styling it after the original release on Kdengen 1.4. The mod even opens up with a warning that we are running the wrong version of Kdengen. Needless to say, people were fuming, but personally, I found this hilarious. One of the details that had people feeling like this wasn't a prank was the fact that the files were larger than v4, which is easily explained by the fact that version 4 is within the assets to bloat the file size. Hilarious. But regardless of how I feel about it, there's still an entire mod's worth of content to cover. So let's get into it. As previously mentioned, the mod is a reimagining of vs. Impostor if it maintained the same look and style as vs. Impostor version 1. Because of this, the first week remains relatively untouched, still being the two songs Alpha Mugus and Actin Sus seen in version 4. Week 2 brings us to a familiar cafeteria in Miria HQ, and pits Boyfriend against Green. It's at this point the player will realize that the songs are being remade to sound like they came from version 1, with similar instruments and relatively unchanged Among Us samples. Because Green's entire setlist is supposed to be remixes of Red songs, Lights Down is now a remix of Actin Sus as opposed to Sabotage. Green's week skips over Reactor and ends with the song Impostor Trouble, which is literally just Double Trouble minus the Parasite. Looking at Green's checklist, it appears to be the same inappropriate thing over and over again. Next we move on to week 3. Sus's Threegis, which keeps the naming scheme of the first song of every week thus far, features Yellow and his two kids singing Mando from version 4. This version of Yellow actually is the imposter, as the second song of the week, Oversight, is actually sung by him and not White. Just like version 4, week 3 does get interrupted by Black, who takes Yellow's space in the final song of the week, Danger. The original fourth song, Double Kill, is likely absent due to the standard at the time version 1's release being 3 songs per week, and the lack of changing scenery between songs is likely due to the same reason. The final song of the mainline weeks is Defeated, another remix/reimagining of Defeat. Just like the original, it's a showdown between Boyfriend and Black on the Defeat screen, rap battling as yet another game goes to black. There's no set amount of misses on this stage, as even letting one note get by will result in a game over. Black's hat is the red version of Traffic Jam, which was originally in the game files but not available to wear until its addition to the Bean Shop, just like how the orange variant was also unused and is now only available in the hide and seek game mode. Defeated has a mid-song flashback that shows us a brief glimpse of the characters in version 4's Defeat. Funnily enough, this technically is a flashback because Defeat was made first. There is a demake of Finale in the free play menu, which offers more of a challenge than Defeated. Speaking of free play, there are a few extra tracks I'd like to cover. Boiling Point features Brown, a familiar looking bandana wearing knife wielding imposter. Maroon is brown instead of maroon in this track due to the color maroon not being introduced as a possible crewmate color until after the release of vs. Impostor version 1. The unused maroon sprite sheet is still in the game files and includes this very explanation. Boiling Point was likely the song chosen for Brown since when it was originally teased for version 4, it was intended to be a much earlier song in the initial week and not feature Maroon's Parasite form. Plague Energy is another free play song which is simply a reimagining of Identity Crisis featuring Monotone Doc. His design is much more simplified and the stage likely takes place on the Skeld due to it being the only currently unused map from Among Us in the mod. This stage would normally feature Tumungus, but they are absent. The transformations are a lot more abrupt and Monotone Doc doesn't ever take the form of Boyfriend. The last free play song is simply a Siva Gunner rip of the song Fresh, remixing it with Among Us. These last 3 songs I'm going to talk about are not as much of a joke as the rest of the mod, so if you are holding out hope that there actually is going to be something new with this release, then this next part is for you. Scrolling all the way down past the empty weeks reveals a 5th hidden week featuring a lime green imposter, Jads. If you watched the cut/unused content video I made a little while ago, you would know that the Jads week was briefly teased during the V4 dev livestream. This tease is now a fully realized 4-song week. Selecting the week adds the 4 songs to the free play menu and sends the player there. At least it did for me, I don't know if this is a bug or not. These 4 songs are Lemon Lime, Chlorophyll, Inflorescence, and Stargazer. First thing players are going to notice when playing these tracks is that it feels like we've stepped right back into Impostor V4. The visuals, gameplay, and music have returned to the style that we caught a glimpse of in Defeated. Jad's stage takes place in the O2 room of the Skeld, and the name of the first 3 tracks relate to plants, and the 4th Stargazer may refer to the fact that the Skeld is a spaceship. Though it was widely accepted that version 4 of vs. Impostor was going to be its final send-off, especially after a hotfix update, mod creator Cloudflow has stated that due to burnout, there are no longer any plans to release any sort of fix. So hilariously enough, this April Fool's release is probably going to be the last time we see anything official from vs. Impostor. Cloudflow has also plugged both a remix track of Acted Sus from the upcoming FNF Imposter Syndrome and the trailer for Deloing 2.5. So Among Us mods definitely don't end here. Alright, that was the whole Impostor V5 April Fool's thing explained. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and until next time.